What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the same. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Wise here. I am the founder and host of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Today is no different. And this is a special episode. I am actually interviewing founders and CEOs live at the Sweets and Snacks Show. And so check it out. We have some amazing companies featured. Check this episode out. And before I get to that, this episode is brought to you by Rise 25. At Rise 25, we help businesses give to and connect to their dream 100 relationships. How do we do that? We help you run your podcast. We are an easy button for an organization or business to launch and run your podcast. I've been podcasting for over a decade now. You know, for me, the number one thing in my life is relationships. I'm always looking at ways to give to my best relationships. And I found no better way to do that than to profile the people and the companies I most admire, feature them on my podcast, and shout from the rooftops what they're working on and what they're doing. So if you've thought about starting a podcast, you should. If you have questions, you can go to rise25.com or email us support@rise25.com to learn more. Now, check out today's episode. Live from the Sweet and Snack Show. Jeremy Wise here. We're here at the Sweets and Snacks Show in Chicago right now, put on by the National Confectioners Association. I'm here with Carly. And Carly, tell people a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Hi, thank you so much for being here at the Sweets and Snacks Expo. We are in the center of the candy and snack universe here in Chicago. I'm a spokesperson for the show, so I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about what's here.
So tell me more about what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a spokesperson, which means I am advocating for the show. I'm talking about the show a lot and sharing all of the great treats and opportunities that we have here with the public. So thank you for watching as well.
You get to see a lot of trends because you're seeing everything that's going on in the industry. What are some of the trends you're seeing at this year's show?
So there's a lot that's really exciting that's happening at the show that we're seeing across the floor. One thing we're seeing a lot of are flavor mashups, so really interesting combinations of flavors. If you can imagine things that are really sour, really spicy, and different sort of interesting combinations, really anything you can imagine might be here at the show already.
What are some flavor mashups have you seen?
Yeah, so they have, I'm seeing a lot of combinations between like a citrus and a berry that's a lot of fun. We're seeing a lot of tahine, for example. There's a tahine gummy bear option that's really nice, so that kind of spicy and sweet combination. In the snack space, I tried a ranch dill pretzel that was out of this world, so good. So a lot of really interesting combinations are happening here.
And you were saying there's some other trends in partnerships.
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of brand partnerships and licensing agreements, which is a fun way for different brands you might not originally expect to work together. So one of my favorite examples is Stuffed Puffs is working with Cinnamon Toast Crunch to make a Cinnamon Toast Crunch Stuffed Puff, which is amazing. Everybody has to try it. And what's really cool about that is it's a big multinational brand combining with a smaller company that is new and incredibly innovative. So it's fun to see how they can work together, how they can make these partnerships across the show. And a lot of those start here. A lot of those relationships are built here as well.
What other fun partnerships or licensing have you seen?
So Doritos works with Jack Link's jerky to make a Doritos flavored jerky that actually just won one of our most innovative new product awards. And then another really popular one is they're making a Warheads pickle now. So that super, super sour taste of a Warhead in pickle form.
Yeah, I was walking the show, and as you were telling me the trends of partnerships, I was seeing, it was popping out at me a little bit, and there was company Wrap Snacks that was partnering with rappers and doing their favorite flavor profiles for chips.
Yeah.
And there was some other ones out there that were putting, Mario Brothers on candies and other things like that. What are some other trends? So we've seen partnerships and some flavor mashups. Any other trends you're seeing?
People love sharing treats on social media, and so we're seeing a lot of really interactive treats that give people, we like to say, permission to play with their food. So they get to interact with it while they're enjoying it, and then we're seeing it on social media as people want to share that fun experience with their friends. We have a lot in the lollipop space. So we have Perfetti Van Mel has Melody Pops, where you can play a whistle as you enjoy a lollipop. We're also seeing recordable lollipops, where you can record a message for somebody that they can listen to while they're enjoying a lollipop.
You were mentioning the makeup of the show, and we sometimes think of the show as like really big brands, but a lot of it is what are the type of companies that really make up the majority of the show?
Yeah, of course we know and love the global multinational companies that are here, but we also have the true makeup of the industry, both the confectionery and the snack industry. So many of these companies are small and mid-sized companies. A lot of them are family-owned. A lot of them are multi-generational. So they've been around for a really long time. People have been enjoying these treats for generations, and they're continuing to innovate as well. We're also seeing new companies that are coming up and innovating, bringing really new perspective to the space. We have here at the show an area of the floor called Startup Street, where companies that have existed for fewer than 3 years and are making these brand new products get a little spotlight on them, get to be highlighted, and really have exposure to so much buying power here at the show in order to help them become the next big thing.
What are some of the new brands or brands that you've seen on Startup Street that we should tell people to check out?
So there's a great brand called Norma's Gummies. It's a woman is working with her, who has worked in the candy industry for a very long time, is working with her grandmother. It's this lovely story of, again, a multi-generational family story to make these incredible gummies in a couple of different flavors, and they're fantastic, and I highly recommend it. She's over on Startup Street.
What is your fan favorite go-to snack at the show?
Oh gosh, that's a really hard one. I think maybe less than just one treat. I'm really excited about these really bold flavors and the flavor mashups. I think that's what I look for. Obviously there's a lot to enjoy here. We have more than 800 exhibitors showing so many of their treats, and I think what excites me are those interesting flavor mashups as I go through, see what's really new, what's different. Any kind of textural experience as well is a lot of fun too.
I'd love to hear maybe, I don't know if the strangest snack or very unique. I mean, I'm partial to the protein bar, so Built bar I love, and I discovered actually at the show a couple years ago, Zing bars and RX bars, Quest Nutrition, I gravitate towards those. But what have you seen, anything you looked at it and you're like, that is more unique than I've seen?
There's a lot that's really unique. One trend that I'm seeing a lot of that I've actually already talked about a little bit that I think is interesting is actually a lot. I've mentioned it a couple times, is this use of pickle flavoring. I happen to love pickles, so we're seeing it in different applications. So you see a traditional pickle like the Warheads pickle. I mentioned those dill ranch pretzels, but we're also seeing American Licorice is making a pickle roulette pack. So it's a little bit of dealer's choice, right? You pick a flavor, you're not quite sure what flavor it is, and some of those sour straws are actually pickle flavored. So I think that's a fun and kind of unusual take on that pickle trend. Yeah,
I've had pickle juice here. I think I've had dill pickle popcorn. And first of all, Carly, I want to thank you. Thanks for sharing the trends of what's going on in the industry. And I just want to thank everyone for watching, and check out more episodes of the show. Thanks, everyone. Jeremy Weiss here. We're live at the Sweets and Snacks Show. I'm here with Theresa, and Theresa run Kayla's. And tell people about Kayla's and what you do.
So this is Kayla's Italian Icy right over here. It is a gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free product. The product was actually founded by my daughter, who's 15 years old, and her name is, guess what, it's Kayla.
Where'd the idea come from?
So the idea is, I'm originally from New York. We always go to New York. We have the flavors. Every time that we go for the summer, she's like, "Ma, we need this in Atlanta. What could we do?" And I was like, "I don't know what to tell you, honey." So she went into the kitchen. She started making up a couple items. And I said, "Well, we need money if we're going to bring it here." She used to sell slime. So she had a couple dollars on the side. So she was her first investor. We found someone to get her to manufacture the product for us. And that's how we got started. We created our recipes.
So she's an entrepreneur.
She is. And I mean, she's so much of an entrepreneur that she said, "I actually want to make my own products." So we bought the machines after we've been in business for like 2 to 3 years. And now we manufacture and wholesale our own products as well.
This is not an easy undertaking, you know, from slime to Italian ice. There's a lot of moving pieces. Also, it's, you know, obviously a frozen product. What were some of the challenges?
So the first challenge is we had to get a push cart because I wanted us to start really small. So we started off with a push cart. We did a couple festivals here and there. It was kind of hot and sweaty. So we was like, we got to find another way to get out there. So
it was like a minimum viable product first.
Exactly, at first. And so now we was like, well, let's see if we can get into some different organizations. So she actually got an interview with Delta Airlines, and she went in and she did a product interview with their marketing department, and they said, "This tastes really good. So how about we go ahead and have you do a couple of events for us?" So once we did Delta Airlines, a couple of their events, we did Home Depot's headquarters. We got a chance to do the Black History Month in 2019 for Coca-Cola. We, in 2021 and 2022, we got a chance to do Papa John's distribution centers in Atlanta as well. And that really put us on the mark for the catering and delivering process.
She's a hustler.
Yeah. So with this money, we decided then, okay, we might need to go big or go home. So we decided to launch food trucks. So now we have an Italian Icy food truck that is in Atlanta, Georgia. So now we do even bigger events, bigger festivals. We do homeowners association, condos, apartments, and corporate.
And then so you have a franchise model also.
Yes. So my daughter decided she didn't want to stop there. We thought it was a great product, and so did other people. And other people were asking us, how can we own this too? We didn't know much about franchising, so we did a little research. We found a really great company to partner with, and they were able to launch us in July of 2022 for franchising opportunities. So now you and other people can now franchise our business through a kiosk, you can do a food truck, or you can do a store location.
So where should people go out to go to find more?
Kayla's Italian Ice. You can Google us. You can go to our website, which is kaylasitalianice.com. For our franchise, you can go to Kayla's Italian Ice Franchise. Or if you want to look us up on Facebook, just go to Kayla's Italian Ice. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and all different types of social media.
So who came up with the franchise idea? Because you could have just stopped, like, you have some big, Papa John's, Home Depot, Delta, and keep doing that. Where'd the franchise idea come about?
So I travel for a living, and we've been to a lot of different countries, and my kid is like, wow. Even the both of us, as a family, me, her dad, her sister, and all of us, was like, why limit ourselves to like a store in Georgia? Because then we'll be in there working every day, and then we won't get a chance to grow the product the way that we like. So we felt franchising was that place. So because we go to different countries and states and cities all the time, we're like, I would love to see a Kayla's Italian Ice here, 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 and here. The fastest way to grow in that market is franchising.
How does she manage her schedule? How does she fit this in her normal schedule? Because I have 2 kids, there's activities, there's school. Right. What does she do to manage the entrepreneur endeavors?
Really, it's been a challenge, but the schools are very, very, very supportive. She currently goes to Westlake High School, and in Westlake, they have a culinary program which she's been accepted into, and they believe in kids and their entrepreneurship. She's also part of the DECA program, which is also about entrepreneurship and teaching kids the way. So she's not only learning from at home, she's actually learning and being educated in school. So as long as everyone is being very supportive, she's able to keep that balance.
Congratulations, amazing. So say the website one more time for people to check out.
It's kaylasitalianice.com or Kayla's Italian Ice Franchise. But you can Google us and you can find us, I promise.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Jeremy Weiss here. We're live at the Sweets and Snacks Show. I'm here with Allison of Like Air. And Allison, tell people about your company and some of the products.
Yeah, so we are a puffcorn company. Like Air, melts in your mouth. I founded the company with my brother. We also have another brother working with us, our CFO. And we're a better for you snack brand.
So what made you start the company?
So love popcorn, but hate that it gets caught in our teeth.
Me too.
Right? Yeah, the kernels, dentists hate it too. So our puffs just melt in your mouth. And it's we say it's good for 6 months to 106.
So what were you doing right before you started this company?
So we don't have a background in food at all, my brother and I. We come from finance and tech backgrounds, but we have had a passion for this space for a long time, so we're really happy to be doing it. You know.
How is it working with your brothers?
It's good, but can be challenging. We'll say that. You know, we don't always see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, we're a family, and that means a lot. So,
what made you decide on the flavors? What are some of the flavors you have out now?
Number one seller is pancake. Pancakes are one of my favorite foods, so we worked with a chef to create the flavor, and I'm happy to show it to you guys here. Sweet and salty. It is our take on kettle corn, but half the sugar.
What were we'll talk about some proud moments, what were some challenges? Because there's a lot of moving pieces with products.
Of course. I think our biggest challenge is when we had a massive order for Sam's Club, so club business, and we had to fulfill it, and it's a small business. It was really a challenge, but we were able to get through that, and we're growing from there. So,
was it difficult to get into Sam's Club in the first place?
It was, but we have a wonderful buyer and a great relationship. We're coming out with small 100-calorie packs in mid-July across the country at Sam's Club. We're really excited about that.
Some proud moments.
Proudest moment, I think just seeing the product, right? This is something we worked on for so long. Just to see it to become a reality has been amazing. And then to have different sizes. So many people have been asking about the small 100-calorie packs, which you can see here. To have those is great. So it's portion control, but also, you know, on-the-go school lunches. So.
I'm not about portion control, personally.
Right. People are like, this is a single serving, right? So.
Where can people find it? Where can people get it?
We sell a number of retailers. We're at Kroger, Meijer, Wakefern. We're coming to Albertsons, which we're really excited about. So we're really starting to expand. Sam's Club and BJ's.
Congrats. Thanks. Thanks so much. Thanks, everyone. Jeremy Weiss here, Inspired Insider, and we're live at the Sweets and Snacks Show. I'm here with Tessa, who's the founder of Norma's. And Tessa, tell people about your company and some of the available flavors.
Awesome. So Norma's is a natural fruit snack that is utilizing local ingredients as much as possible. We use local Nebraska honey. We're based in Omaha, Nebraska, and Norma is my grandmother. She is an herbalist, a naturopath, all about things natural wellness. And so this whole brand and company came about as I'm a candy scientist and have a product development company separate from Norma's. And Grandma came to me and said, I have this really great elderberry syrup. Do you think we can transform it into a gummy bear? Which is what I do for a living. So we transformed her recipe for her syrup that everybody loved into a fruit snack. So we have elderberry juice, ginger juice, cinnamon, local honey. It has the same texture of the fruit snacks that we love. That's kind of bouncy, chewy. And then it happened to be rhubarb season when I was doing this development. So I went out to the garden. I love strawberry rhubarb pie. So I picked some rhubarb, boiled it down just to see what we could create, and we created the strawberry rhubarb flavor of Norma's. So our tagline is no weird here, and that's a nod to the transparency of our ingredients. We want people to know what they're eating. We've got nothing to hide. We're not making any stretch claims of any sorts. It's just a genuinely good, authentic product.
What made you decide to be a candy scientist?
I love chemistry and science. I always have. I was interested in food so long ago. I discovered food science and I studied food science, and then I discovered candy science and that you can be a candy scientist.
Sign me up.
And once I found that out and I got into it, I just really love creating things for the sake of creating, and being able to do that with candy, like, it's a dream job.
Where can people find it?
Norma's is for sale online right now at normas.com. We're in a few select retailers and gourmet markets in the Omaha, Nebraska area, and we're here at the show to expand that.
So I want to hear some proud moments, some challenges with any company. It's not always like a straight shot. What are some challenges?
I'll say one challenge that turned into a bit of a proud moment is sourcing the rhubarb. While we have rhubarb in the development that came from our garden, sourcing it commercially was a challenge, and we ended up having to ship it frozen all the way across the country. So we paid more for frozen shipping than we did for the rhubarb. And that spurred us to plant our own rhubarb farm. So we now have a rhubarb farm that we're harvesting for the first time this year that will go into our fruit snacks. And the farm to fruit snack distance is less than a mile. So we're using that as just continuing as we grow to make our ingredients more local, more transparent, that we can point to the farmer and know who's providing the ingredients that go into this.
It's hard, because there's a lot of costs in the logistics and shipping, and you want to keep the pricing at a reasonable amount for people. There's a challenge there with how do you come up with what to sell them for?
Oh, I don't know that we've really figured that out quite yet. As we go and continue to optimize our supply chain and how we're producing them, we started with a co-man, but my other business is development and processing, and we're in the process of starting up our own facility under the business of Sprink. And soon we'll be producing these in-house in our own facility.
Yeah, because you have really premium ingredients, and all of them are, like you were saying, your grandma's an herbalist. All those are nutritionally, I'm feeling something, I'm coming down with something. I get the elderberry syrup, I have the ginger, so all the ingredients that are in the gummies. So talk about your grandma's influence on you a bit.
Yeah, so this really was spurred all by her wanting to transform her syrup into gummies. And she really just wanted to share it with my nieces and nephews during the pandemic for immunity. And once we started working on it, we realized, this is a really good story. This is a really good product that we shouldn't keep it just to our own family, and we should share it. And so she really is the inspiration behind it, of using genuinely good ingredients. And then when we process them, we wanted to maintain the integrity of the ingredients as much as possible. We've got local Nebraska honey. There's benefits, there's natural vitamins and minerals in that. The juices that we use. And so we actually cook this under a pretty unique process of cooking it under vacuum, so that we're not exposing it to as much heat, but we're still getting the same texture, still long shelf life that you would have in other gummy products.
And then how did you come up with the packaging? So you can see here Norma's. Talk about the packaging. This is also not easy to figure out as well.
Yeah, so when we started and we were building the brand, I had left corporate, had started my own company, and I was connected with some other entrepreneurs who were also starting their own branding agencies, developers for graphics. And so we came across a fantastic graphic designer who was just starting out on their own, doing some freelance work, and he's been doing all of our graphics for Norma's. And it was just really fun because they got to interview Grandma Norma and get to know her and really create a brand that is authentic to both Grandma Norma and to me.
Awesome. So where can people learn more? What's the website?
Normas.com.
Normas.com. Check it out. Thanks, everyone.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. I'm feeling like $100 grand.